What's up, guys? Southeast Softwash. We're getting into March 2025, and I wanted to grab you guys a quick video on this particular skid. This is a Gen 2. It's a pretty unique one. Got a lot of bells and whistles, so I damn sure wanted to get you guys a walk around of this skid before it heads out the door next week. I believe this customer's coming next week to pick it up, take it out there, and make a bunch of money with it. So let's do a quick walk around. If you follow the channel, you've seen these videos a bunch of times, but we have a lot of new guys, and so we want to make sure we let them know what's up. All right, right here on this shelf, we've got our three kind of working hose reels. Now, for the guys that live up north or compact metro areas, suburbs, they call this curbside. Okay, guys out in the Midwest and the South, we don't really do that. All of our properties here have real big yards. 4 or 5 acres is not uncommon, and so you're not parking at the end of the road and walking out to the house. But for those guys, it doesn't matter. They're able to service everything from the street, pull up, pull this off, and hit everything, and then leave without pulling into the customer's driveway. So if you're confused about what that means, that's what that means. But here on this shelf, we've got our feed reel starting up here at the front, so the truck would be facing this way, the cab would be right here, and our very front position hose reel, that's our feed intake water reel. That one's going to be hooked up to the customer's spigot and providing intake water to fill up the water tank. And we do like to put a little filter here on these just to help prevent some contaminants getting in here. This one's going to be our water tank. This one's going to be our bleach tank. You can see we've got those color-coded. Blue is water. Red zip ties here are indicating bleach, and that's just helpful in the future. Should you have to backtrack some plumbing, you can see where those lines are going. Now, this is our very own tank. We'll talk about that tank real quick before we look at the rest of those hose reels. But we manufacture these tanks, we own the molds, and we made a change to these last year. This little elevated pocket right here, this is a bulkhead landing zone. So you guys can see we've got all of our bulkheads made into the top or mounted into the top here instead of down here. This tank used to just be flat, our original design. You can see we've got our strap locations here if you're going to use ratchet strap to hold it down. But we raised this up a few inches here and made a little pocket so you can mount your bulkheads or anything you're going to put on the tank, and that raises. Really, the big one here that's important is that Hudson float valve. It gets that valve up a little bit higher, and so now the shutoff point is down actually about here somewhere, and so you get a true 100-gallon capacity. If you build a 100-gallon tank and then you put a Hudson valve in it, we found that you lose about 12 to 14 gallons because you've got to mount that valve, and so the valve has to have enough space to trigger and shut itself off. So just a little bit of an improvement there to get you a few more gallons, but stay under the on-the-road requirements. You don't want to go over that for sure. We'll go back to the hose reels here. We've got our 12-inch reel deal. All three of these are the same, and these are half-inch internals. This one's going to be, obviously, right, our pressure washing hose reel. So we've got 200 feet on there of high-pressure hose, and we've got our downstream injector mounted on this one right there. That's usually where we're going to put them on the Gen 2s, because if you walk up to the side of your truck bed rail will be about here. Really easy to get in there and change that downstream injector out. You've got enough slack on the whip line to pull it out here, change an O-ring, change the injector, clean it out, whatever you need to do. They're sort of known for being finicky. They're cheap to replace. You know, they do a great job, but the nature of a downstream injector is you're going to be monkeying with it a lot. So you don't want that buried. You don't want it buried up down there anywhere where you can't reach in and grab it. Then we've got a Softwash hose reel right here in the last position, another 12-inch reel deal. Let's take a look at this hose reel real quick. Very, very nice, heavy gauge. Got our locking pin on there, stainless steel internals. Maybe you can see it better on this one. This is stainless steel, which helps a ton. We got our swivel on there. Greasable. Most dudes don't grease them, but it's there if you want to grease it. And this hose reel is going to be holding a whole bunch of 5/8. It's a little bit over 200 feet of 5/8, and that's going to be pulling off of the Super 8 Softwash pump right there. Okay, so we've got a shelf that runs across the back. I really like that because here's where your tailgate would be if this was sitting on the back of the truck. That means you can jump up here on the tailgate, you can reach over and get to that pump, do a swap, get to that pump, do a swap, pull it off, probably set it on the tailgate, replace a head kit if you need to, and then stick it right back on. Of course, both of these pumps, the big one and the Super 8, are using quick connect fittings. 2 pin connectors. Everything is quick detach. Okay, it's solid. It's not going anywhere, but you can get it off. You can service it, and that's kind of the theory behind that. So Super 8 on this side, very, very capable system, and he's metering right here with this blend manifold. We try to lay things out to where they make sense, right? This blend manifold is going with that pump, and they're in the same kind of pocket here, same area of the truck skid. All right, so moving down, we've got our, this is an 8 gallon a minute here, and this one's going to be a gear drive Honda 690, and I think that's a general pump back in there. Key start, electric start, you know the deal. We've got our soap tank located right there beside it, forklift capable as always. And if we move over to the other Softwash system, we've got a separator. All right, we've got a fuel tank separating these two. This tank is auxiliary fuel, which will run that. Easy to get in here and fill up at the store. Easy to get a gas can and fill up as well. And then he's got his Sweet 16 pump over here, which is going to be blending off of another really cool piece of Southeast kit. That is the Smart Blend. We're the only ones that got it, baby, and it's really cool. It allows for remote control blending of your Softwash system, okay? So he's got full blend capabilities on the bleach and on the surfactant, and we still can get in there if we want to, for some reason, turn the manual, these things are, that little rubber seal's tight. If we need to get in here and operate the water leg, we can. There's just hardly ever a reason to do that, but you can if you need to, and they're color-coded. You guys see the color-coded zip ties back there on the back. So Smart Blend technology, very cool. This is not just a on-off. This is full blend capabilities, remote control style on your Softwash system. Can't get it nowhere else. We've got our turbo rinse leg right there for the Sweet 16, and that's a bad boy. Very, very cool. So he's got 2 independent Softwash systems here on this Gen 2 skid. He can run really about 3 guys off of this. Actually, he could run 4 guys because he could have someone pressure washing, someone soft washing, another person soft washing, and he's got window cleaning capability. And this is the Tucker little compact window cleaning system. We mount that here on the box. This is a really thick gauge stainless box. These are very nice. This one actually is aluminum, but we do use some that are stainless steel, so that's a heavy gauge box, and it will definitely hold the weight of that compact little window system, and that's running on its own little pump that Tucker sends with it there. So I like that. It's not just depending on the customer's spigot pressure to push water through. No, it's actually pulling its own water, which is really nice, and then outbound to its own little hose reel there, and he'll be able to connect his water-fed pole. He's got all of his stuff there. I sat it to the side to do the video here. Then he's got his main dump line here. This will drain out all the big bulk dirty water. Batteries in there, a little bit of storage, but his lithiums and charging components are housed inside that box as well. So all he's got to do is come home at the end of the day and plug up right there, plug an extension cord up, which will top off his battery system overnight. Really just takes about 4 or 5 hours, and he's ready to operate all day the next day on battery lithium power. Really just pennies to run this skid on the daily, with the exception of the pressure washer needing fuel, obviously. And then we've got his switches here, right? These operate the pumps. That one didn't do anything because there's a delay. You'll notice that. Cut that on. There is a little delay on the big super pump, and that's because he's got the speed control version, so it has to power up and activate the electronics on the inside. But yeah, we try to, again, lay these out to where they make sense. That one operates this pump on this side. That one in the middle there operates the other super pump, the Super 8. And then this one that's closest to the window cleaning pump, it operates the window cleaning pump. So just a little bit of rhyme or reason. Of course, this dude that's buying this, he'll probably memorize all that stuff, but he may have a technician, and just makes it easier if he's got a helper. Hopefully it makes it easier for them to go out there and figure out what switch does what. Got switched here on the smart blend controller. Got switches for all that stuff. So I don't do this, but you can use these switches as sort of a key. You can take that out, and some of these guys that live in like crazy areas, they'll use that as a key so people can't go out there and mess with their rig. Ladder rack, adjustable heights, got a surface cleaner there up top, and he's still got room to put all of his ladders on the top side, and this is a 24-inch triple bar surface cleaner. Guys, that is another slick Gen 2. I'll take the pressure off of these pumps before I go out and head back to the house. We're gonna go try to clean out our koi pond. It's got a bunch of algae. You know, if I didn't have koi in there, I could just soft wash that bad boy, put a little bit of yang in there, but the fish, they don't seem to appreciate that. Guys, hope you have a great week. Hey, check out the links down below if you want to get some equipment, some parts, some chem, some training. Let us know. We can do it to it, and we'll see you guys in the next video.